Let's get back to this game, though. Payton Pritchard, we didn't talk about him. Outstanding. So Aaron Neesmith's kind of missing in action right now, but Payton Pritchard, well, Jeff Teague's been struggling mightily. 0 shot makes in the last 2 games. Comes out and hits 5 straight shots to start this game. Drilling deep threes, hitting off the catch. Dumps in the lane, assisting to the big men. He kind of gets in there under the big trees and dishes out little dumps to Rob and others down there. This could be a backup point guard, it's looking like right now.
You sound excited, man. That's not good.
Great.
The rest of them are
Great.
Great. You know, he's developing, and yeah, of course,
Is that a threat? Is that a threat?
What John is alluding to is like these aren't good signs of a contending team because, you know, we don't know if this is going to bridge the gap enough for Kemba. But that gap,
you know what, though? I'll say this.
Be bigger than we expect.
But here's the thing. You got to be realistic.
Maybe it takes Jeff Teague. You guys got so excited about Jeff Teague on opening night.
Guys who are drafted where Pritchard is drafted, where Robert Williams was drafted, you're lucky if they're still in the league in a few years, okay? The bust rate is very high there. So to get a serviceable pro at that point in the draft is a massive victory. So if Payton Pritchard is actually a viable backup point guard in the NBA, that's a home run at that point in the draft. Even if Williams tonight played one of his best all-around games in a bit, but if Williams is able to give you 15 to 20 minutes as a backup big and you're not terrified to leave him on the court in certain situations like they were during the playoffs last year, that's also a huge win. You know, those guys aren't putting you over the hump, but you need to hit with some of those. So it's good to have those guys too. It's just relying on Payton Pritchard. This is the second time in 3 nights he's led the bench in minutes. That's kind of scary.
He led the team in plus minus tonight. So
but it's twice in 3 games he's played more minutes than anybody on the bench.
And we keep hearing about this tough competition they're playing. He's stacking up against it. Indiana's got a good bench. Brooklyn's bench is outstanding. He didn't play as well in that game.
Does that speak? The answer is probably both. But does that speak to how well Pritchard's been playing, or how desperate this team is for viable NBA caliber bodies?
Jimmy, he's looked great, hasn't he?
First it was roster, now it's NBA caliber.
He's looked like he belongs in the NBA since the first preseason game. We were basically like, wow, it looks like this guy's kind of a gamer. Like they may have actually have something there. The Celtics did reach a little bit for him because they knew they were going to trade away their 30th pick, so they knew that they wanted to take him a few spots maybe earlier than what a lot of people expect, where they expected him to go. So I mean, I like the fact that they may have something there. He's an end of rotation guy or a middle of
hold on, I just want to say this real quick before I go.
You guys have zero patience.
No, it's just funny. It's just funny. This guy in the comment section goes,
what the hell is so damn funny?
Talking about Joe Sway. Pritchard had a great game. I'm not saying he didn't have a great game.
He did his 3rd game and he led the team plus minus.
It's not 2015, Bobby. This is like year 8 of Brad Stevens. It's like,
oh my god! But I have to apologize for
time, man. How many times we've been through this? It's like, okay,
why am I apologizing for Jeff Teague? How's he moving the needle?
He's a veteran. You really think he's not going to score 20 points tomorrow night or next game? Like, you know he's going to bounce back. He's a veteran. He's an established scorer. Pritchard, to John's point, Pritchard playing all these minutes. What do you think that means for the next game, Bobby? He's probably not going to do much, or he's going to do less. You know, it's going to fluctuate. All right, he's a young player. I'm not saying Pritchard playing well this early is a bad thing. I'm like, okay, it's great. Yeah, it's good. You got a serviceable backup. But where are we talking in the grand scheme of things? You know, I mean, in the meantime, yeah, it's good. But, you know, again, Jeff Teague's going to bounce back. So we'll see how that goes when the second unit goes. But it's just like to go like, oh, man, Pritchard played great. It's like, yeah, he played well. But is this where you thought the Celtics would be? That you'd be excited after game 3 that the rookie that was drafted in the second round went off? Like,
you knew where they'd be. Kemba's out. The bench is young. The leaders of the team are still getting used to their roles, and Tatum, Brown, both looked like high-level facilitators tonight in that first half. So they're acclimating to this.
This guy was Pritchard's better than Teague.
I think the Celtics are in a pretty bad position right now in terms of their roster, and they're handling it well against tough teams. So 1-2, it's not your ideal start, but there's a ton of great signs right now on this team to be able to get by. Like, I think overall through 3 games, is it above your expectations or below your expectations? It's a little above mine.
It's around my expectations.
It's around it, and honestly, they're a lucky Tatum shot away from being 0-3 to start this year. So I mean, your perspective might be a little bit completely different if that shot doesn't go down.
That shot again, not to go over that all over again. Right. But I mean,
real quick, one more guy here. He goes, Josue, what are they going to talk about? That's my problem. We just like 3 guys to talk about, and Pritchard is one of them. Thank you. To my point. That's a problem, guys. Pritchard's like the 4th best player on this team. This is a problem.
That's what I said. From a talent perspective, right now, it is scary that Pritchard absolutely. Yes, Jimmy, you can speak.
No, that's what John and I were saying all offseason when Celtics fans were like, we're excited for, this guy and that guy. It's like, are we just like delusional here? Or are we just not seeing the roster that we're all seeing? Because we said the whole time, like, they're going to have trouble scoring based on the fact that if Kemba's out, and now we know he is, like, you're going to have a ton of trouble scoring. Thank God Pritchard is a somewhat capable player, because I don't know who the hell would be playing those minutes if it wasn't for him. I mean, we'd really be going deep into the rotate, where we bring the depths of that lineup.